Good morning. I am Riji, Associate Professor, Department of ECE. Today we are going to see about IoT levels and deployment templates from Unit 1. From this IoT level and deployment template, students can understand what are the level of IoT and what are the component of IoT system. IoT levels and deployment template based upon the number of monitoring nodes used, type of database used, complexity and simplicity of analysis computed. There are 6 levels of IoT. Different applications are implemented based upon this level. IoT system consists of the following components: devices, resources, controller service, database, web service, analysis component, application. IoT levels and deployment template. Device. The IoT device allow identification, remote sensing, actuating and remote monitoring capabilities. Resources. Resources are the software component on the IoT device for assessing, processing and storing sensor information or controlling actuator connected to the device. Resource include the software component that enable network access for the device. For example, the program that can be written for object detection using IR sensor to find out the distance using ultrasonic sensor. Controller service. Controller service is a native service that run on the device and interact with the web service. Controller service send data from the device to the web service and receive command from the application for controlling the web service. For example, ESP8266 programming, setting up of API key, SSID, etc. Database. Database can be either local or in cloud and store the data generated by the IoT device. Web service. This acts as an interface between IoT device, application, database and analysis component. Web service can be implemented using HTTP and REST principle or using WebSocket protocol. Analysis component. The analysis component is responsible for analyzing the IoT data and generate uniform result which are easy for understand. Analysis can be performed either locally or in cloud. Application. IoT application provides an interface that the user can use to control and monitor various aspects of the IoT system. There are 6 levels of IoT. IoT level 1. It has a single node or device for sensing, monitoring, actuating, storing data, performing analysis and hosting application. Data involved is not big, so data is stored in local database. It is suitable for modeling, design, low cost and low complexity solution. Primary analysis requirement is not computationally intensive, so they are locally analyzed. Example, home automation. So you can see the block diagram what I explained. So it is normally a monitoring node, device, resource, controller service, REST bar, WebSocket and given to application. See, the data are stored in the database. That is the what we are having in the IoT level 1 for to the cloud. And IoT level 2, it is has also a single node or device for sensing, monitoring, actuating, performing analysis and hosting application. Data involved is big, so data is stored in cloud. It uses cloud-based application to visualize data. Primary analysis requirement is not computationally intensive, so it can be analyzed locally. For example, smart irrigation. So in IoT level 1, we will have same thing what we will have the database, monitoring node for performance analysis, device, resource and controller service. From that, actually you are giving both in REST bar socket service and cloud. So based upon this one, all the data can be stored through cloud and it can be retrieved later. IoT level 3, it has a single node bar device for sensing, monitoring, actuating, hosting application. Data involved is so data stored in the cloud. It can use a cloud-based application to visualize data. So the primary analysis requirement is computationally intensive. So the aggregated analysis in connect. So example, tracking, package handling. So in IoT level 1, so all the data are sent to the cloud. Here we will have the device, resource, controller service, REST bar, WebSocket communication, database, cloud. So it is the IoT level 3. IoT level 4, it has the multiple nodes. device for sensing, monitoring, actuating, performing, analyzing, and hosting application. Data involved is big, so data is stored in the cloud. It uses cloud-based application to visualize data. Primary analysis requires computationally incentive, so they can aggregate and analyze in cloud. It has two observer node, local and cloud-based. They can subscribe to and receive information in cloud and from IoT device. They can process and use the information for various application. So you can see it having separate and multiple nodes. So both the two devices like that, device resource controller, same thing will have device resource and controller to REST service. From that it have to go for the application development to the observer node. So normally all data are stored in the cloud for multiple purpose. IoT level 5. It is also having the multiple node device for sensing, monitoring, actuating, one coordinator node for collecting and sending the data to cloud by controller service. Data involved is big, so data is stored in the cloud. It uses cloud-based application to visualize data suitable for wireless sensor network. Primary analysis requirement is computation incentive. Analytical component analysis the data and store result in cloud and making prediction. The example forest fire reduction. IoT levels. So in most of the weather monitoring system and forest fire detection, they will use in the level of IoT level 5 since it will have large number of data. For example, controller service, reverse, endpoint. Same thing here. We will have endpoint device, resource controller, device controller. All data are sent to the REST bar website socket through the analysis stored in the database. Both observer node are given to the input to the REST web server socket. So data are stored in the cloud for future purpose. IoT level 6. It is also having multiple independent node bar device for sensing, monitoring, actuating and sensing the data to cloud by controller service. Data involved is big, so data is stored in cloud. It uses cloud-based application to visualize data. Primary analysis requirement is computational incentive. Analytical component analyze the data and store result in cloud. It has a centralized controller which is aware of status of the end node and send control command to the node. Weather monitoring and structural health monitoring. Assessment question. What are the software component on the IoT device for assessing, processing and storing sensor level? Dash can be used as local in the cloud and store the data generated by IoT device. Dash has single node sensing, monitoring, actuating and hosting application. These are the assignment question. From that you will understand that what are the levels of IoT system. Thank you.